guys have 2 tickets to the Super Bowl, but they won't be taking me, and they're not going themselves. I'm going to tell you more about that coming up later in the County Line.
If you can't make it to Detroit, then don't worry. Our on-the-road team shows you how you can still support the Steelers from home.
Plus an interview with PAC SID Joe Anderko and all your men's and women's basketball highlights in Titantown sports. We're live.
We're local.
The County Line starts now. An early spring or a long winter? What did that crazy groundhog in Punxsutawney see? Good evening and welcome to the County Line. I'm Steve Brink.
And I'm Shannon McLean. Thousands gathered at Gobbler's Knob earlier today to see the world's most famous groundhog make his annual weather prediction. Punxsutawney Phil did see his shadow this morning, which means we're in for 6 more weeks of winter.
One Westminster College student is giving up a chance to see the Steelers in Super Bowl 40. Freshman Michael Huffnagel is selling his tickets so that he has money to pay for tuition. The County Line's Elizabeth Ferry introduces us to this young fan who's making the ultimate Steelers sacrifice, all in the name of education.
These are 2 of the tickets that could get Michael into his first live Super Bowl.
They're pretty good seats.
But someone else will be in his seats on Sunday. He's trading his tickets in for tuition. Michael and his dad Dave decided to sell the tickets on eBay. It was a tough decision to make, but the right thing for Michael.
In the long run, it's worth it. If I can get a better education, afford to go to the Super Bowl every year, it's worth missing one.
But if Michael's going to miss his chance to replace his old Super Bowl shirt at XL, he hopes to get at least $5,000 from the eBay auction, all for next semester's tuition. Michael's dad says every little bit helps, especially when the annual bill for Westminster can reach almost $30 grand. And making things even tighter, Dave's faced pay cuts from his job at U.S. Airways.
I have to do it. There's no choice for us because of, you know, if he was going to community college, we'd be at the Super Bowl, but he's going to a fine school, and I'm not complaining about Westminster, but it's a little bit steep for a working guy.
Michael's Steelers sacrifice will allow him to continue studying at Westminster, but the sacrifice won't sideline his dad. He's still headed for the game, even without the tickets. Dave has a friend in NFL Films who will put him to work during the game on the sidelines. Dave's sure to have the time of his life on Sunday, but Michael didn't make out too badly either. His tickets sold for $6,200 on eBay. Not a bad start towards next semester's tuition. In Lawrence County, I'm Elizabeth Barry for the County Line.
That $6,200 was just from one pair of tickets that Michael sold. His uncle also contributed 2 tickets that went for $4,800.
Another popular aspect of watching the Super Bowl is the good food that comes with it. Local businesses are preparing for a rush of orders on Sunday. The County Line's Jolene Slattery talks with 2 local pizza places about what they're expecting.
With the Steelers going to the Super Bowl this Sunday, many local businesses are doing what they can to prepare for a rush of customers. I'm here at Pizza Joe's to see what they're doing this Sunday.
Well, we're just stocking up on supplies, and we did bring out our own Pizza Joe's Steelers shirts, and we're just getting ready to increase the staff, and we're just hoping to get a great turnout and support the Steelers.
Pizza won't be the only popular item during the game.
Wings will be a big thing also. We'll sell a lot of wings that day also. So that's one thing we have to get ready for ahead of time. We're hoping to sell a lot of chips and pop, and we're going to do whatever we can to, to please the customers, that's for sure. I'm hoping it'll be a great turnout, and I hope the Steelers win.
My next stop was at Domino's Pizza, where they're expecting a lot of deliveries on Sunday.
Hopefully a busy day. Lots of orders, and hopefully lots of deliveries.
Are you upset about missing the game Sunday?
No, I really watched the game for mostly the commercials, so not really. During the AFC game, we got a lot of orders in. We were really running around.
With wait times sometimes double what they normally are, it may be best to call in your order ahead of time.
The wait time will probably be anywhere between 45 minutes to an hour if we're busy. Normal wait time is around 30 minutes.
I'm not going to bet on Sunday's game, but what I will bet is that local pizza places will be very busy this Sunday. For the County Line, I'm Jolene Slattery.
Food isn't the only thing Steeler fans need for the big game. Local fans have yet to take a timeout in the second half of the season in picking up Steelers fever. They show their support with their Steelers gear. Our on-the-road team Pam and Garrett shows their team spirit at the Grove City Outlet Mall.
Our travels this week took us to the heart of Steeler country in Grove City, the Pittsburgh Steeler Outlet.
I'm Garrett Horvath.
And I'm Pamela Marlowe, and you're on the road.
So, who's your favorite Steeler?
This one.
Heinz Ward. What are your plans for the Super Bowl? What are you going to do on Super Bowl Sunday?
And this one's Steelers.
You going to root for the Steelers?
Yeah.
I know some guys playing downtown, rocking Huntsville from all the touchdowns. It's the Steelers, the Pittsburgh Steelers. Wave your towels, baby, boogie woogie black and gold. They got fans over in the rocks, tailgating crazies wearing black and gold jocks for the Steelers. The Pittsburgh Steelers. Wave your towels, baby. Boogie woogie.
And what brings you to the Steelers store today? It looks like you already got your gear set for this weekend.
I had to get a hat. I got the...
All right. And what are your plans for this Sunday's Super Bowl?
Well, you know what? I have a 2.5-year-old son, and he is a very big Super Bowl Steeler fan all the way. We're just going to stay home and watch the Super Bowl.
Make a lot of noise when our boys score. The Steelers, the Pittsburgh Steelers. Wave your towels, baby. Boogie woogie black and gold. Here we go, Steelers. Here we go. Here we go, Steelers. Here we go.
I have a son-in-law that's a Seahawk fan. Uh-oh.
Did you invite him over?
He is.
So what brings you to the Steelers store?
Oh, well, check out my competition, see what's out there. Not impressed.
Well, it's been 11 years since the Steelers have last been in the Super Bowl.
But by the looks of things around here, the fans have remained loyal and even doubled.
Well, so is the store's income by the looks of things.
So come on down to the Pittsburgh Steeler Outlet and catch the fever.
Oh, we go catch the bus. That's it for this week's On the Road. I'm Garrett Horvath.
And I'm Pamela Marlowe. We'll catch you next week.
All right, Shannon, we got to take a break from all this Steelers preparation and see what else is making headlines this week.
And Mike Walensky has just the ticket with this week's 88.9 on the County Line.
Titan Radio Digital 88.9 News brings you local news now.
Despite ACLU efforts, Hickory High School student Justin Layshock will not be going back to class anytime soon. The district suspended Layshock after he posted inappropriate comments about his principal on the internet. The Big Beaver Falls Area School District says they won't discipline ethnic relations teacher John Kelly, who made a student sit on the floor during class 2 weeks ago because he was wearing a Denver Broncos jersey. The district stands beside Kelly, who says it was an object lesson in discrimination. Lawrence County Treasurer Gary Falasco will attend court next May. He faces charges of theft and embezzlement after nearly 47,000 county tax dollars were unaccounted for. In Grove City, arson investigation continues as authorities try to determine whether the body of Brandy Dunn was found dead because of the fire or because she was killed by blunt force trauma to the head before the fire started. After a meeting of the Republican Party in Pennsylvania, former Steelers wide receiver Lynn Swann looks to be their most likely choice for governor. An official nomination is expected before the end of the month. If Swann is nominated, he will most likely run against current Governor Ed Rendell, who is postponing his annual budget address to accommodate Steelers fans returning home from Detroit. The address was originally planned for Monday, but will now take place on Tuesday. And whoever wins the governor office may get to work with some new faces in the General Assembly. A grassroots organization known as Clean Sweep seeks to wipe out incumbents by nominating new House and Senate candidates. Stay up to date every day of the week with Titan Radio News on 89 FM.
A vote to pass a bill that would raise Pennsylvania's minimum wage to $7.15 an hour was postponed again today. The Democrats and Republicans grappled over the decision to raise the wage, which resulted in the Democrats leaving the room.
It's been a little more than a month since former Lawrence County DA Matt Mangino left office, but as reporter Katherine Larson tells us, Mangino's doing double time just to keep up.
After 8 years as Lawrence County's DA, you'd think Mangino could find time to relax.
That's a wonderful book, and actually I'm reading her book right now on a team of rivals.
But that just isn't the case. He's so busy, time to take the trash out. Not that he's complaining, he's shifting gears from full-time DA to dad.
Because, you know, for their entire life, they saw me every morning put a suit and tie on and walk out the front door and then come back in the evening with a suit and tie on. And you know, they don't know why I don't do that anymore. They're still trying to figure that out, but, you know, it's fun trying to explain it.
Still, his 5-year-old twins, Mark and Melina, say even though they get more playtime, he's always busy.
Daddy always works on his computer. He never stops.
But what the twins aren't aware of is exactly what their dad is doing, making connections. Last Thursday night, he spoke with Nancy Grace about a Massachusetts murder case. At Current, Mangino's in talks about becoming a legal correspondent for both MSNBC and Court TV. And while Mangino may soon become a well-known legal celebrity, he's famous in his family for playing chase.
We go all around the house. We run all around.
For the County Line, I'm Katherine Larson.
Oh my goodness.
Mangino is also auditing broadcasting classes here at his alma mater, Westminster College, to make his splash in the national news a success.
I can't believe that he is going to school and
I know. He's got a lot to do, but still making time for students here at Westminster.
For his kids. His kids are cute.
I know. They are. So.
All right, stay tuned right now for the County Close-Up with Sharon, Fire Chief, right here on the Westminster College Cable Network.
What is that thing?
Looks like somebody's double chin. Must have lost it snacking on fruits and vegetables.
Somebody's gonna trip on that.
What is that? It looks like someone's belly. Yeah, probably lost it walking on the beach.
The Lawrence County Humane Society believes in the safety of spaying and neutering your animals. Spaying and neutering can have many long-term benefits.
We at the Lawrence County Humane Society believe that all animals should be spayed or neutered. Many reasons why, but the biggest reason is that they will be a happier, healthier pet. Also, it alleviates the overpopulation problem.
Getting your animals spayed and neutered is one huge step in making sure that more animals are healthy and find loving homes.
One day these rats were playing in the woods. One of the matches and that's no good. So the gorgeous force, what you decide. Don't play with matches, don't play with fire. Yeah.
Only you can prevent forest fires.
Joining us tonight on the County Close-Up is Sharon Fire Chief Terry Whalen. Thanks for coming.
Glad to be here.
We're talking tonight about fire safety, but with specific interest in the smoke detectors, and largely, let's start out with what kind should you buy?
Okay, well, there's actually two basic types. There's a photoelectric, and there's also ionization. Photoelectric is activated by interrupting a light, and ionization, which is your most common type, which you're going to find at most hardware stores, is actually there's two plates that are ionized, and the smoke interrupts those plates and causes the smoke detector to give off the alarm.
So which one's better to buy?
Well, actually, the manufacturers recommend both, only because The ionization type is good for where there's a lot of flame, a lot of kindling going on, and the photoelectric is good for smoldering fires, like say a mattress. If you have a smoker in the house, it'd be good to have the photoelectric type.
So how much do they run about?
They run anywhere from probably about $5, $10 up to about $30.
And which one's your best one? You want the $30 one, right?
Well, no, what you want, it's really not just about the price, it's about as long as it's UL approved, by the Underwriter Laboratories approved, which is basically anyone you're going to find on the market. I did bring a few samples tonight.
Show it one to us. What do you really want to do when you hook it up?
Okay, when you hook it up, the main thing is location. You want to put it on the ceiling in the center of a room, for the most part. This way it's equidistant from anywhere a fire might start. And it's just 2 screws applied to the base of it, and that's all there is to install it. It comes apart, and you put the screws in, you have your battery, and you put it back together, and there we
it's
go.
going off. It's
Yeah.
going off indeed.
And it's quite timely we would have this today, actually, because we always say in the fire service, when it's time to change your clocks, change your battery, which would be twice a year. Any detector also would give off when there's a low signal. When the battery is weakening, it gives off a little, sounds like a bird chirping.
Heard?
That
Or
was
was
actually
that
just
the
the starting. Actually, here's the actual detector. Okay, I'll play it for you.
Ooh, okay.
Okay. But there are so many kinds on the market. Like I said, the main thing is UL approved. I did bring a few different types. This is the most common. This is just battery powered. I have another one here. This is battery powered also, but it also has a light in it. So when this smoke detector is activated, it actually gives off a light. And this way, like if you have like a hallway or a stairway, it would actually illumine that at the same time. What you're finding a lot nowadays in the new construction is we have a type here. It's a hardwired system. Hardwire means that it's wired directly into your house wiring system.
Okay.
And it also has a battery backup. So if one would fail, you have if the wiring fails, like say with a power outage, you have the battery that's going to go off. If your battery would go dead, you have the wire. The nice thing about the wiring ones are you can wire them all together, interconnect like up to 24.
And they're all going to go off at the same time.
At the same time, exactly.
Wow. Well, you know, if you want to get some more information on fire alarms and all that, you're in luck, because I think it's this Monday that we're actually giving away, I believe, 2 smoke detectors on Titan Radio and 88.9 FM. In fact, we're giving away 2 on Liz and Kirsten's show from 7 to 9. And Chief Terry Whalen, thanks so much for being on the show, and stay tuned for more County Line after this.
I got a
Can I help you, sir?
Found these over by the stairs.
Okay, thank you.
What are they?
Love handles. Lots of people lose them taking the stairs instead of the escalator.
Every week we return all our cans and bottles. Yeah, we help to reduce the world's waste.
But aluminum? It's like gold.
Uh-huh. There's a can.
Where?
Get it.
Environmental defense. Get green. For more tips, go to getgreen.com.
Come on, boy. Come on. What do you got there, Yogi? Huh? What do you found? What do you got, little fella? Drop it. Looks like someone's butt. Man, they probably lost it playing with their kids. Hey, leave it. Come on. Come on.
Hello and welcome to this week's edition of Titan Town Sports. I'm Justin Egley. Thanks for tuning in as we have a lot of sports action to cover for you tonight. And we're going to start off with our sports information director here at Westminster College, Joe Underko. Now, Joe's had this position the past 11 years, and he's also been part-time for the PAC for the past 5 years. Earlier this week, I had a chance to sit down with Joe and find out what all he really does as a sports information director. Let's take a look at that interview now. For being on the show with us today for the interview.
Thanks, Justin.
First off, what all do you do here at Westminster as the Sports Information Director?
Sure. The SID at Westminster is responsible for the publicity and promotion of all aspects of the varsity sports program. We have a 20-sport varsity sports program here, Division III, member of the PAC. So that job would include writing press releases after each game, compiling statistics, website management, handling different publications, handling interview requests, just about anything that we can do to get the positive word out there about Titan athletics.
That sounds like quite a lot to do as just being one guy all by yourself. Probably takes up a lot of time. What are your hours like?
Well, they're kind of crazy depending on the time of year. Certainly in the fall, there are a lot of nights, a lot of weekends, very unusual hours. I've been the SID position is a job that historically has had a high burnout factor to it. A lot of good people leave these jobs because after a while the hours just wear down on them. I've been very fortunate here at Westminster. That has not happened to me, mainly because I think I have a supervisor, and there are several other people that understand the job and the pressures it puts on you, and they're very accommodating and work with you so that you can still do this job but still have a life outside of work as well.
Now, talking about a life outside of work, you also have a family. You have a wife and 2 daughters. Mm-hmm. Now, how do they handle to your crazy hours?
Well, my wife, I was very fortunate. I have a wife who, despite not being a sports fan, is very understanding of my schedule and has been for quite some time. I think at the times I'm sure it's tough on her, especially with 2 young daughters at home. Yeah. But like I said, we do everything we can to spend as much time together. The fact that she's not a sports fan, I usually get my sports fix at Westminster, and by the time I'm home, we have our own things that we like to do together. And as you said, most of that is spending with our daughters and just being around them as much as possible.
Now, how did you get involved as being the sports information director here at Westminster? Is that just something you've always wanted to do as a kid? You always wanted to be involved in sports? How did that go apart?
Well, like a lot of kids, I played sports in high school. I certainly had I was under no illusion that I was going to be a college athlete or anything above that. When I went to college at Robert Morris, going through a college catalog, I found, they had a directory of people on campus, and one of the positions was sports information director. And I remember seeing that and saying, I don't even know what that is, but I want to do it. And I ended up meeting that person and doing an internship and volunteering some time. And from there did an internship in the NBA and got hired at a school down in Virginia full-time from there. And then in 1995, the Westminster position opened up. And I grew up about a half hour north of here, so it was really an easy decision to try to get this position. I was fortunate to do so.
Well, that was Sports Information Director Joe Onderko, and Joe has been very, very busy, and he'll even be busier after tonight's new news. We have breaking news that Chatham College, an all-women's school, will now join the PAC, so Joe will keep busy with that. And next week we'll have another part of that interview. Joe's going to talk more about his new position at the PAC. He is now the executive director. He'll have a new office up in Wexford, and that'll start in April. So we'll talk more about that next week, and we'll have an in-depth story about our newest member in the PAC. Remember, we also have St. Vincent and Geneva coming into the PAC, so it's going to be pretty good competition for the PAC coming up next year. But last night we had some great competition as both the men's and the women's basketball teams hosted Grove City College here at Buzz Riddle Gymnasium. The women were up first, so let's take a look at their highlights from last night's game. Westminster would host the Grove City Wolverines, and in the first half the 2 teams battled tough, but Therese Marzak would prove her team was the toughest with that steal and the layup to tie the game up at 18. 5 seconds left in the first half, still a tie game at 24. The Wolverines make a big mistake and foul Emily Ackerman. She gets a 1-and-1, makes both, gives a 2-point lead into the half. Now Grove City battled back early in the second half, and to take a 40-39 lead, that's Shannon Overdorf with a layup, and that would be the last time Grove City would ever see a lead in this game. Lady Titans would then take a 16-1 run. That was part of it there. That would be 10 minutes in that 16-1 run. That was Nicole Fee with a deuce. And then Desiree Sterling, who steals the ball, makes the easy layup, and Desiree had a game night as she scored 16 points alone in the second half, 20 total. Westminster would then just try to kill as much clock off as possible, and Desiree Sterling will make the jumper there as the Lady Titans would go on to win this game 57-46. The Westminster Titans taking on Grove City Wolverines here at Buzzroll Gymnasium, leading 18-16 in the first half. Nick Adams double times it from three-point land, helping the Titans to a 20-8 run. That time they're Fadden to Adams. This time Chauncey Whitlow to Adams for 3 more. Adams had 18 points on the evening. 5 of those were three-pointers. Now Greg Rosatelli with a steal dishes the rock off to Nick DiNatale for the easy lay-in on the right-hand side. Now a beautiful between-the-legs no-look pass to Craig Hannon, who drains it from 3 from long distance. And Craig Hannon will take it upon himself this time to put it in for 2 the hard way with a right-handed layup. Hannon, 13 points, 4 assists, and will take us to the second half. Jake the Snake Zatchok hits the three-pointer with a man in his face. The assist goes to Craig Hannon, and the inbound pass will be Brian Fadden, who strips the defender. Rosatelli lays it up and in for the deucer. Now Mark DeMonico will come back into the game, and Rosatelli will strip, feed the ball to DeMonico, and just like any other man, he gets satisfied when he's full. He puts it up and in. Mark DeMonico, 23 points, 8 for 8 from the free throw line. Final score 90-69. Those were both very, very big and major important wins for both teams last night, for the women's and the men's team. Now they will have more upcoming games. This Saturday will be their next game. They will actually both play. The women will start off at 2 p.m. They will actually play W&J, host W&J. Got to watch out for Lisa Elkowski. And then for the men, they will play following that game at 4. That's also against W&J. Now, what better way to showcase the best plays of the week from those highlights than in my best eggs of the week? We're going to take a look at those now. Now it's time for my best eggs of the week, and we're going to start it off with number 6. We have a half dozen for you this week, and this one will go to Therese Marzalek of the Lady Titans as she makes a steal, goes whole way down the court, puts up the easy layup. Therese had a great defensive game against the Wolverines on Wednesday night. Now to number 5 goes to Emily Ackerman. Ackerman almost from the three-point range in the corner, puts up the 2, gets 14 total points in that game against the Wolverines. A great effort overall. Now to number 4, this one will go to Nick Adams, and Nick getting the ball passed to him by Chauncey Whitlow there, and sinks the 3, and Adams had a great night, 18 total points, 5 of them from three-point range, like one of those right there, and that makes it up to number 3 now. Number 3 this time will go to 2 people, Greg Rosatelli and Mark DeMonico. Greg Rosatelli makes the steal, dishes to DeMonico. He puts up the easy layup, and also DeMonico had 23 points, 21 coming in the second half. Now to number 2. Look at the top of your screen, slow motion, between the legs pass to Craig Hannon. Hannon sinks the 3, and that makes my number 2 play. Now to number 1, and this one was the buzzer beater. This one goes to Desiree Sterling, right on the buzzer. She makes the 3. Don't know how she did it, but she drills it, and that will be my number 1 egg of the week, and that has been my best eggs of the week. And my 2 MVPs of the men's and the women's game, Desiree Sterling and Mark DeMonico, they both came back in the second half and had huge games. DeMonico had 21 points in the second half. Desiree Sterling had 16 in the second half. So those get my MVP votes. And apparently my producer thinks it's going to be pretty funny if they take a full shot of what I'm wearing tonight. As everyone knows, I'm a full high dead to the, I just love the Steelers, and I'm going to wear my black and gold. That's why I got the tie, I got the pants, got the terrible towel. So got to root the Steelers on this weekend. That's why I have my playoff beard. But now we're going to kick it back over the news desk to my number 1 sports Steelers fan. That's Steve Brink. Steve, here you go, buddy.
All right, thank you, Justin. I'm going to toss that over in the garbage there. But no, Shannon, sorry. Obviously, I'm not a Steelers fan, but no. Shannon, you are. What do you think about the game on Sunday?
I think that the Steelers are going to win on Saturday.
Well, I don't know.
Going to win.
I don't know. We'll see.
All right. Well, that's all the time we have for this week's The County Line.
We won't be on the air next week as the Geneva basketball team takes on the Westminster Titans live on the Westminster Cable Network.
But you can join us the following week for all of your local news and sports highlights.
Stay tuned, Westminster Cable Network, for a replay of the high school basketball game of the week. The Neshannock Lancers take on the Laurel Spartans. That's it. Have a good night.
Good night.